Why don't people in Athens wake up early in the morning?
Oh, here we go.
Because dawn is tough on Greece.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh.
I have to remember that one for work tomorrow.
I'm so glad I'm recording this. Oh.
Good evening and welcome to the Ranking the Retros Roundtable. I almost said podcast. I don't even remember what the title of the show is anymore. Alzheimer's that bitch, people.
We've been here before.
Yeah, almost every episode I have some sort of new reason for why I don't remember the name of the show we're doing.
Maybe one of us should do the intro from now on.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Anywho,
You could just write it down.
Yeah,
do that.
Sticky
note.
note.
Thing is, I used to, and I still messed it up. So
yeah, see how easy it is, Wayne? Welcome to the. Oh, shit, I just screwed it up too. That's not easy to say.
No, it's not.
Welcome to Ranking the Retros Roundtable. It doesn't roll off the tongue very easy.
Welcome to the Triple R podcast. How's that? We'll just roll with that.
I thought it wasn't.
Anywho,
I thought it wasn't a podcast.
Well,
podcast
it's a
isn't in the name.
Retros Roundtable podcast.
Yeah, but you didn't use podcast. And then you were just like, I almost said podcast in the intro, and then you do it now anyway.
Wait, that's because I said Ranking the Retros podcast. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, move on. We're done.
Okay, yeah. Episode 15, that's where we're at. And for some reason, I was thinking this was episode 16 this entire time. Good thing I wrote that down. We are looking at not all the NES games, because there are some that we cannot play, but we're looking at a good, probably 95% of the NES library, about 3 games at a time. With this week, we focused on Deadly Towers, Athena, and Palamedes. Gentlemen, I'm going to say this before we even get off to the trivia. I am so sorry for this week.
Yeah, you owe us a lot of apologies.
To be fair, you guys are the ones that picked the games, but I am still so very sorry.
Actually, I feel like you owe us dinner.
Okay, I'll owe you a Coke. As we always do, though, we start off with a little bit of trivia based on the themes of the games for this episode. This is going to be a little bit of a special edition, because the 5 questions I have are all based on Greek mythology, considering that 2 of the games are kind of sort of not really based on Greek mythology. So Jerry, you were kind of correct in the start before we even started recording.
I was being a smart ass.
But you're right.
I didn't want to
Mostly because I didn't have any good facts about Deadly Towers either. So I figured Greek mythology works. So
can we just I just automatically award all of the points to Sammy?
I mean, I think you'll be fine. But I didn't even introduce you guys yet. How rude of me. I am a horrible host, even though we already knew this from the start, since I can't even get the show's name right. So Jerry, how are you doing? Good. Sammy, how are you doing over there?
Never better, Wayne. Thanks for asking.
Oh, I'm so sorry for the games that we played and also for delaying the introductions. I'm a terrible person. I owe you guys a Coke anyway. Anyway, without further ado, let's move on to the Power Up Pop Quiz section of this show. Number 1. What animal is often associated with the Greek goddess Athena?
It's an owl, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so. There's that little coin with an owl and like Athena's name on it. It's like it's a thing. Not to use too much technical terminology.
Yeah, I was over here just going to say a bird.
You're just going to say a bird?
Well, I don't want to say owl because I wasn't sure, but I was thinking of something and I was like, wait, would it be? But I don't know. So,
Are you sticking with bird or you?
Bird's too vague. I gotta go with the species. But I'm just gonna say I know it's not the case, but I'm gonna say an eagle. I think it's owl, but I'm not going with owl.
Okay, Well, it is Al.
Damn it.
Goddess
Isn't
of
that a hoot?
wisdom. Elsewhere. Oh, jeez. Number 2. The ancient Greek Palamedes is widely associated with the invention of numbers, letters, and what else?
Dice.
Okay. Jerry?
I'm gonna go with dice too, because that was my initial thought.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's not.
You are both correct. That would be dice.
Oh,
Wow.
You each get a point, which it makes sense, I guess. Palamedes, because you're throwing dice, which I know Palamedes was a real person. Not gonna lie, until I did the research for these. Number 3, moving right along. Which part of Zeus's anatomy did Athena get born from? And is multiple choice.
I thought this was a kid's show.
It is. Is it the forehead, the stomach, the fist, or chest?
I'm going with forehead just because it'd be funny.
Okay.
I actually think that actually sounds familiar. I'm gonna say forehead too. It worked.
Okay.
It worked for us last round. So let's see what happens.
Okay. You would again both be correct. Athena was born from Zeus's head.
Sweet.
Man, Greek mythology is so weird, and I think that's why I like it.
You might say that she was his brainchild.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Good one.
Number 4. Athena is also often depicted with Nike, who is the goddess of what?
It's got to be sneakers. Am I right?
Are you going with sneakers?
I mean, they didn't wear sneakers, right? They wore sandals. So I'll say sandals.
Okay.
I'm just
Jerry,
gonna.
are you going to go with sandals as well?
No, I'm just gonna go with I don't know. I'm just goddess of water. I don't know.
Water. Oh, there already was a god of water, Poseidon. And Nike was the goddess of victory, which is where Nike got the name from.
Damn.
That makes more
finally-
sense than sneakers.
Yeah, you got to have
Yeah.
sandals to win, right? In the Olympic Games, the people that were barefoot, they didn't win anything. Number 5, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, but that's fine. Dutch playwright Joost van der Vandel. Vandel? I don't know. Some Dutch playwright wrote a play about Palamedes in what year?
Dude, I don't even know when Greek mythology started.
A long time ago.
Yeah, that's helpful.
I had no idea that there was a modern version of a play about Palamedes. There's
All right.
really
let me put
old
this out
Greek
there.
plays about Palamedes.
Let me tell you this much. It's not modern. It's not modern in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but didn't you say that it's Dutch?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. It's before 1900.
Well, compared to Euripides, that's pretty modern. I'll say
Touché.
he also wrote a play about tailoring, by the way, called Euripides Eumenides. But I'm gonna say
you were on a roll today.
I'll say for the Dutch playwright, I don't know, 1704.
Okay.
My initial thought was 1700, so I'm going with that.
Just 1700?
Just 1700.
All right.
Oh.
Jerry, you would be closer. 1625.
Jerry, I didn't know that you were such a scholar.
So you both have tied with 3 points each. So somehow we'll split who chooses the games at the end of the episode. Worst case, I guess we can have Jerry do it again since he is the overall point leader with 23 against Sammy's 17. So
You're the boss.
That said, yeah, I don't know about that, but I can't get the name of the show right. So, that said, let's move on to game number 1 of the night, Deadly Towers,
Yeah, this will
which
be
was
quick.
released.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was
Spoiler.
released in December. No, it was released in December 15th, of 1986. It was developed by Lennar Co. Limited and published by Irem or Broderbund, depending on your territory. Who wants to start with this one?
It was a pile of dog shit.
I was just about to say, other than saying it's a piece of crap.
Nope. Big steaming pile of dog shit.
Wow.
Seriously, this game is horrible.
Would you like to elaborate,
Yeah,
sir?
the graphics are horrendous. The music sucks. It looks like I'm battling with a bunch of rejected graphics from Marble Madness.
I didn't even think of that. That's actually kind of crazy. I can't unsee that now.
You're welcome. But I mean, it just one kill and you're like starting over, and I just wandered around. And
At least when you start over, though, you keep your maximum health. That's one good thing, right? No? Am I alone on that?
I'm really upset with you that I had to play this game. So I'm saving. That's all I'm going to say about it. This game sucked. I'm not mixing words. I have nothing positive to say about this game, and it deserves to sit at the damn near bottom of the pile. I'm done. Thank you.
Wow. Sammy, do you share his sentiments, or did you have a slightly better experience, or more
I'm not sure
favorable
I had
experience?
I'm not sure I had a slightly favorable, more better experience necessarily.
I'm
But
not known for my English.
I was so excited because I love an action adventure, dungeon crawler kind of game. It's right up my alley. I love that my attack was to shoot swords out of my cod piece. I thought that was kind of a neat feature. But it was pretty dismal. I didn't really understand what was happening. Why were there blue balloons? I don't understand the balloons and how they knocked me over so easily. Just the fact that I was wearing armor should have precluded me from being knocked over by a floating balloon. So that didn't really make any sense. I agree with Jerry that everything, if a bat fluttered by me, it killed me. Pretty weak constitution for a prince, in my opinion. And I had to watch a playthrough on YouTube because I had no idea where I was going. Every room, I'll say, had a doorway that led to another room with a doorway that led to another room with a doorway, and there wasn't anything in any of them, and it took me far too long to decide to watch a playthrough. I'll never get those minutes of my life back, unfortunately. But not only was the game kind of bad, but it was extra bad because I was so excited for it at the very beginning. Not a good experience. And the music may have been the worst part. It was the poorest tuned MIDI sounding nonsense I've ever heard. I had to put it on mute. Couldn't do it.
Wow.
So sorry, not a glowing
That's
review.
pretty damning. That's pretty damning.
It's deserved.
All right, so I'll talk about the game a little bit, just so everybody that's out there that's listening to this, just in case you've never played it or heard of it or anything like that. It's I guess you can call it. It's not really isometric. You're basically running around a 3D-ish castle trying to put out some sort of bell. I think that's what you're supposed to do. And once you do like 8 of them, you burn the towers down, you go see the big bad boss and take back your kingdom. It's apparently your goal as a new prince, who is the weakest prince in ever. His weapon, as Sammy had mentioned, he throws a sword out of his crotch for some reason. And the worst thing about it is you cannot throw another one until that sword clears the room. So if you throw it and miss, you're waiting a second or two until that sword is off the screen, which
Mm.
absolutely sucks ass. The whole point is to, as I said, burn down each of these deadly towers, but the castle itself is a massive maze. You can find items, or you can find money called, I think what was it, lubber or something like that. It was a really weird name, but kind of fun to say, but it doesn't sound like any kind of currency I'd want to have. But maybe it's Lutter. I think it's Lutter. I think I miswrote it. Anyway, you could find these shops where everything's so expensive, and when you die, you lose a lot of your gold, or sorry, Lutter. I did buy a shield. It didn't seem to do much. I maxed out my health within a couple minutes of playing because I died so many times, and the maximum health power ups just keep respawning in. But once you hit 200, that's it. Can't go any higher than that, which kind of feels like it defeats the purpose. The music, as Sammy said, is just atrocious because it keeps resetting every time you enter a new room, which it just shows horrible programming. And I did find out though, you can kill most enemies just by walking right up to their faces and just start spamming the sword button. And then because then it stops them from moving. The problem is a lot of the enemies take so many freaking hits that your thumb is going to start bothering you. Like it's going to get sore. You're going to get tired just by slamming the A button to throw that stupid sword. I'm assuming eventually you can get an upgrade. I would hope so, but I got to like I guess you could call it the first dungeon where you walk around and you just randomly find yourself in this new area. The problem is you fall right into a snake who pushed you into the next room with a stack of balls that kills you. Like this happened to me so many times. The only way I got around it is when I'm falling to hold left, because that way I might evade the snake. I had a couple extra chances to evade it. But so here's I was saying earlier to Sammy that I enjoyed like 1.5 of the games, kind of sorta. This is the half. Because the more I played it, I got some sort of, I don't even want to say satisfaction, but it's like I was determined to actually get somewhere in this game. The problem is I didn't. I would spend a good 5 minutes or so just going in the same room, killing the same bats to get the same hearts to replenish the measly amount of health to go into the next room, just lose it all anyway. And like I wanted to see if like I felt like if I could get an upgrade to my sword, to my attack, I would enjoy the game more. I was thinking, all right, maybe it's just a really slow starting game. Maybe once I find out where I have to go, maybe then I'll be able to start enjoying it. Maybe it's just, you just slog it around. Oh, upgrade. Yeah, I can kill things now a little bit more efficiently, but I just never reached that point. So, yeah, part of me wanted to keep going. It really did, but it's just after a while, I'm like, all right, I want to get somewhere in this game, but I just have to call it quits because it's just programmed in some horrible fashion where like it's just way too easy to die and you don't even really feel like you have a way of properly defending yourself. I mean, how many times did you guys fall off a ledge because you were hit in the wrong spot?
By a balloon.
It's terrible. Like I thought, all right, maybe I could jump down here and get to the lower levels. Nope, it just kills you. I guess it should figure because you die by being touched by like flies or whatever the hell those little dot things are. The balloons or Marble Madness rejects or the slinkies or I get like the little goblin guys spitting fire. Okay, I can understand those killing me, but I don't know. Like I said, I even found a shop. I bought a shield and that didn't seem to do diddly squat. So it's just yeah, I wanted to like this game. I did. It's just I can't. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Help me.
I can help you. Let's rank it.
Okay. All right, Jerry, Sammy, where would you guys put it? Okay,
Oof.
let me put it to you this way: is this game worse than Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
really think so?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
really think so? Okay, that's throwing me for a little bit of a loop. I didn't think it was as bad as Dungeons and Dragons. I wouldn't put it that much higher, but I'm curious to hear what you guys say here.
Honestly, I would play Clue Clue Land over this.
Okay, but you still wouldn't put it below Donkey Kong Jr. Math.
No.
You wouldn't put it all the way at the bottom. It has not reached that level of awfulness.
You know what? Yes, it has. I would put it below DKJ Math. I would
You would
play
put it-
DKJ
it-
Math over this game. Have I said much about it at this point? Am I talking about it? No. Why? Because it sucks. I would play DKJ Math over this game in a heartbeat. You know why?
Wow.
DKJ Math isn't a broken
DKJ
mess.
Math?
What?
You said DK Math.
I said DKJ Math is
It
not.
sure said. It sounded like you said DK Day.
Says the guy who
giving me
can't
crap
even
for my
say the
English.
name of the show. So
That's what I'm saying. You're giving me crap. I'm giving you crap.
this game,
Let's all take a breath.
yeah, this game's.
Proceed.
I'm sorry. This game's just. It's not playable. Like it's just DKJ Math has graphically is better looking, plays better than this, makes more sense. This looks like it was thrown together in 5 minutes.
It probably was.
And I'm mad at you that I had to play it. So that's where some of my attitude's coming from.
Dang. What about you, Sammy?
I think that I would have also put it below Clue Clue Land. And since I have not played Donkey Kong Jr. Math, I will defer to Jerry's good judgment.
I'm gonna put it this way. I'm rethinking about where I would put it. Because again, I really tried. I really tried. I would have put it originally between Mach Rider and Ice Climber. I couldn't put it any higher than that. I did enjoy a very small snippet of this game because I like exploration style games where you have to figure out where to go. Cryptic, absolutely. But look at like Milon Sacred Castle. That's just as cryptic, but at least that's much more playable. This one, like your attack is just so atrocious. It's so bad. It's so useless that it's hard to really feel like you're making any kind of progress. So that's why I'm fine with bringing it much lower. I don't think I can put it below Donkey Kong Jr. Math though. Because Donkey Kong Jr. Math is has such a limited scope.
What is this? How can
Not
you?
great.
You're sitting here going like, "Oh, I really want to like this because it fits into this genre." It's a bad game, dude. Because you like a style of genre. I like Donkey Kong Jr., but that doesn't mean that I was favorable towards Math. I like Donkey Kong, doesn't mean that I liked it more than DKJ. Same style of game, got ranked accordingly because of various reasons. Just because you wanted to like something doesn't mean that it has to fit somewhere else because it fits into a genre that you like. I don't agree with it. Sorry.
I'm just saying that just because it's a bad game doesn't necessarily mean it's at the absolute bottom. I can think of another game that we played today that's much worse than this.
I don't agree.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting conversation at that point. What do you think between volleyball and Heroes of the Lance? Or is that still too high for you?
Volleyball is broken.
Yes. And so is this game. Like, I mean, obviously we're at the bottom of the barrel at this point. Like, and I'm fine with that. It's just figuring out where in the bottom of the barrel to put it.
I mean, honestly, it's really hard for me to. It's hard for me to look at it and go. I mean, between Clue Clue Land and this game, they're very close. I would argue and say that Clue Clue Land at least plays a little bit better than this. I would put it between Clue Clue Land and DKJ Math myself.
You know what? I'm fine with that. My thing is Donkey Kong Jr. Math, the scope is so limited. And with this, you can if you know what you're doing, you can get much more out of the
But
game.
like you said, what's the point of having to, you get thrown into a space, and if you don't know after dying the first 1 or 2 times from it because of the way it's poorly done, you have to hold left to avoid a snake that otherwise will knock you off and kill you, and then you start over, and then even if you figure that out and you go through the next spot, you're going to get whacked again because you don't know that the first time going through. I don't care about limited scope versus this is just poorly done.
Well, I'm looking at that versus Donkey Kong Jr. Math, where it's like the main game is literally just yourself putting together math problems against a second player who, if you don't have a second player, just sits there.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So that's why I'm thinking above
valid.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math at the minimum.
Yeah, that's valid. But I really don't know. I don't know that I can put it between. I don't know that I can put it between Dungeons and Dragons and volleyball personally, just because volleyball is so broken.
I'm fine with saying between Clue Clue Land and Donkey Kong Jr. Math. If everybody's fine with that. Yay, nay.
That's my concession. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Sammy?
I'm good.
Okay. I just couldn't see myself putting it below Donkey Kong Jr. Math. I just didn't think it was that bad. It's close. Don't get me wrong. It's very close. So yeah, Deadly Towers, number 44 out of 45. Would not recommend the game unless you really have nothing better to do. Even if you have nothing better to do, I still wouldn't recommend this game. Unless you're a sick, twisted person like me. Anywho, before the anger starts again, let's move on to the other game that I think is going to eventually be out and around that same area. Athena, released in June of 1987, developed and published by SNK. It is a 2D platformer with, I guess you can say, a lot to it, but does any of it really go well? That's up to you guys to discuss. So, yeah, who wants to start on this one?
Well, why don't you give us a little overview of the game first?
Oh, I thought I did with the 2D with a lot going on. All right,
well,
fine.
I thought maybe you had more to say. I don't know.
I mean, I could. So basically, you play as the Greek goddess who is allegedly bored. I think that's the entire story. She's bored and she sets out to have an adventure. What a story. You run around as Athena, who, the goddess of war, starts out with an amazing weapon, as in she has a very low-range kick. She doesn't even start with a sword or anything like that. She starts with a kick that is literally like a little like it's like if she kicks a rock with that, the rock isn't moving. That's what kind of kick she has.
Yep, breaking your toe.
Anyway, what's it?
Breaking your toe.
Yeah, pretty much. But as
in
you're
her
playing,
defense, her kick was a lot more powerful than the Deadly Towers Prince's pee-pee sword. So
yeah, at least for with her kick, you didn't have to wait for it to leave the freaking screen.
Yeah, can I just say too, like the whole thing going back to Deadly Towers for just 2 seconds, if it's a sword, why does it take so many hits to bust a balloon?
I agree.
See, I didn't think it was a balloon. Me personally,
he knew he was going to battle. He should have sharpened his pee-pee sword before he left home.
Yep, live and learn.
Who's their sword? Like, how many swords does this guy have anyway? Also, I didn't think there were balloons. I imagined them as like round slimes, but that's neither here nor there. So,
yeah, sorry to derail again.
Is that a thing that exists? A round slime?
I don't know. I've never seen a slime that moves back and forth like that. So,
yeah, well, they looked like balloons that were, running out of helium.
Anyway, back to Athena. So yeah, you start off with this kick, and then as you defeat enemies, they will drop other weapons. So it's very, very soon in the game, you start finding clubs and like swords, a bow, a massive freaking sword that destroys everything in its wake. And then you find some armor, which allegedly helps you take more damage. And there's just items everywhere. And it's not always clear what they do. You just kind of pick them up because you assume they're going to help, which usually they do. But then you get to the first boss, which absolutely destroys you within seconds. Because if you don't have a ranged weapon, it will absolutely just kill you outright because it's nearly impossible to get to where you can damage the boss with the sword. Although I did do it somehow once. I don't know how I managed to do that though. And then you get to level 2 and you kind of repeat the same thing where you're just trying to find better equipment to better slay the enemies that approach you in hopes that you can get to the boss with the right weapon. Because if not, you're starting the stage all over again. And I believe there's limited continues as well. So that's fun. I have one word that sums up this game: chaotic. I guess I have two. Clunky chaotic. Like, there's just so much happening. There's so many items that appear. And you're just going to try grabbing everything because it just makes sense, but I don't know if it actually helps. Oh, and the music sucked too. I think the music might be worse than Deadly Towers.
The music wasn't good, but it was not worse than Deadly Towers. Deadly Towers was unlistened toable.
At least you had a
Technical term.
respite between rooms in Deadly Towers, though. Here in Athena, you just keep hearing the same screeching theme over and over again. So I reviewed this game a couple years ago, and I hated it then. And I was not looking forward. This is the game that I played for this episode that I was not looking forward to the most. And I was right to think that because this game is one of the worst I've ever played in my life. Like, I can see where the developers are going with it. Like, a lot of different items, almost like I don't want to say an RPG feel, but kind of sort of with all the equipment you can find. But I feel like everything just feels so haphazard with it. You know? Does that make sense, or is this just me?
I am surprised that after just talking about the Deadly Towers game, that's how you describe this one. Because in my opinion, all of those things, all of those characteristics were much worse in Deadly Towers than in this one. I thought, at least in this game, the format was predictable.
That is fair. I will.
And
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I, for what it's worth, I liked that there was more stuff to find in this one because it made it a little bit more interesting. How long did I have to play Deadly Towers with nothing but a dull PP sword? And in this one, by the end of level 1, I had already been through, a bunch of different weapons, each with their own slightly different mechanics. To me, that was a lot more fun and interesting than playing Deadly Towers.
Yeah, this was definitely better than Deadly Towers, hands down.
Definitely. Yeah, all three hands. Wait.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna disagree with that a little bit because I don't know. Like,
It's all right, Wayne. You can't be right about everything.
Yeah, it's
You're
okay
right,
to be
exactly.
wrong. It's quite all right.
Out of curiosity, I know I ask this a lot, but how far did you guys get in this game?
I think I got to level 2, but then I had a hard time because in level 2, these kind of archers appear that pop out sometimes out of complete nothingness. Really incredible. and shoot arrows at you, and I had a really hard time with the arrows, and I ran out of time to play it. So I got into level 2 but didn't complete it.
Okay. Jerry?
I got a level 2, man. I don't understand the whole triple jump thing. That was one of my biggest gripes about this game. Is
Yeah, it's very
like
very
that's
clunky to use.
yeah, that part was distracting because I thought at first when I was trying to figure it out, I was like, oh, okay, so if I hold the button, it'll automatically no, and then I realized I'm like, oh wait, it doesn't matter. So on the second or third jump, you're gonna end up like if you get through those 3, you're gonna go back to like a short jump, and sometimes that was a little bit of an issue when trying to just move along. So, but I personally, no, I enjoyed this more than Deadly Towers, hands down.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not saying it's great. I'm not calling it a great game, but I played this more, and I liked the variety of weapon choices and the fact that you could have armor that seemed to actually help. And yeah.
Well, I clearly am going to be the minority here because yeah, I just do not like this game. I would actually take Deadly Towers over this in a heartbeat, and this is why. Deadly Towers, I felt like I had a really crappy way, but I had a way of defending myself. Where in this game, first level's not so bad. Second level starts getting a little tricky, but the third level is a swimming level, which of course every game's got to have a swimming level. Problem is, if you don't have the right weapon and you go in the water, there's these enemies that will just constantly swarm you and you cannot get them off of you. So you just keep dying over and over again. Before you know it, all your continues are gone. You're back to the start of the game. And I absolutely despise that first boss. So when I got to that point, I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. Whereas with like Deadly Towers, I die. It's like, all right, one more try. All right, one more try. All right, I got a little bit further this time. One more try. Oh, there's a dragon there. If I kill that, all right, dragon's dead. Oh, we got a brand new pathway over here. I felt like I was making progress in Deadly Towers. Athena, I just felt like I kept taking 2 steps backwards because every time I got a good weapon, somehow I accidentally pick up a weaker one, which did an even worse job. The problem is sometimes you have to pick up a weaker weapon. Like, let's say you have the bow and you're in level 2. There's an area where you have to break a couple blocks in order to get to a higher platform. Well, the bow can't break the blocks. So you got to kill an enemy to get one of the weaker clubs to basically break the blocks, and then hope you can find a better weapon before you get to the boss. So I don't know. Like I can understand why you guys like this a little bit better. I'm gonna have to take a step back and be like, no, this one, I feel like this was a step back from Deadly Towers. Now I will say the graphics are better, but other than that, I just no for me. This one's a big nope.
I think that's nuts.
Well, we can't agree on everything, unfortunately. I think the other problem I don't like about this game is the same problem I had with Deadly Towers, actually, was health is way too rare. It's kind of like Mystery Quest, actually, where you have to be standing in the right spot for the hearts to appear. The flower comes up, you smack the flower for some reason, and the hearts show up. But if you're not quick enough, the hearts will just float off the screen, so you just lose them anyway. And you can find like bigger hearts, which are supposed to give you like an increased health bar. But again, if you continue, you lose all that. So I feel like more health would have made this game a little bit better, plus a little bit more of a consistency, I guess you could say, with weapon drops. Yeah, I know where the flame sword drops in level 1 now because I've done it so many times. It's just I wish that it was a little bit harder to lose your stronger weapons for weaker ones. Make sense? I don't know. But that's just my mentality on this game.
Which one are you calling the flame sword? Is that the one that it kind of
It kinda looks
shoots, or is that
so that's a different one. I got that typically after I got the flame sword. The flame sword looks almost like a violin on fire.
Oh yeah, I was calling it the fuchsia accordiola.
Yeah.
because
At
it's
least I
pink
think
and
I think it's a flame
when you're
sword.
well when you're no fair enough when you're carrying it so the graphics are kind of interesting. Athena is donning um uh kind of a skimpy outfit with pink sandals that tie all the way up her calves, and she has blue hair. I had no idea that Athena was kind of a punk like that, but whatever. So the color scheme kind of matches that, and so this weapon that we're talking about, the fuchsia accordiola, when she's carrying it around, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a pink violin, but a little bigger, hence viola. And when she attacks, it kind of unfolds and stretches out to attack the enemy from afar, kind of like an accordion. So that's why I was
Yeah,
calling it the fuchsia accordiola.
I like it.
um but that one was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, if I could keep that, that'd be great because it destroys almost all the enemies. It breaks all the blocks. Like you just absolutely demolish everything in your way. But then you accidentally
Yeah,
pick
but
up the other weapon
yeah,
that
and
shoots the laser beams.
yeah, so you're right. Much worse than the PP sword. That was
I think I,
sarcasm.
I got the thumbnail quote for this episode. Might have to rename it to the crotch sword, but
Fair enough. The cod sword.
the cod sword. Yeah, Jerry, do you have any thoughts left that you haven't mentioned yet?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, so where would you put this in the list?
Let me see.
I'll let me throw this out there. I put in my notes I would put this below Donkey Kong Jr. Math, but I second guessed them, so I did not.
What?
I absolutely do not like this game.
I'm glad that you rethought it, because we would have been fighting.
Depending on where you guys put it, I might take a step back on this one because clearly you guys like this one more than I do. Again, I like Deadly Towers more than this, so obviously you can kind of figure out where I'm going to put it just based on that alone. But please, you
Well, I've
guys
said it
say
before and I'll say it again. I think that's nuts.
I mean, I would put it between Donkey Kong Jr. and D&D
okay.
Hillstar.
Oh yeah? I would even notch it up a little bit higher than that.
Really?
I would have I kind of had fun playing this game. I don't know. I know that you can make arguments for all of the technical things about the game that make it what it is, but at the end of the day, how good a game is about like how much enjoyment you get out of playing it. And so there are
Mhm.
plenty of games in the world that are technically inferior or have really stupid mechanics, but that people also like absolutely love, right? So for me, I would probably put this like between Mock Rider and Ice Climber, so at spot 33.
Sammy, you bring up a good point where the ultimate goal of a game is to enjoy it. So it doesn't matter how broken a game is, as long as you have fun with it, that's all that matters. Saying that, I did not have fun with this game, and my my sec my second rating for this game is actually closer to where Jerry put it. Because he said between Donkey Kong Jr. and Hillsfar, I would put it between Hillsfar and Conan.
Well, that's fine. Drop it down. I don't need to win. I've said my piece.
I'm gonna try to see if I can put this any higher.
We'll just hit the up arrow. It's real easy.
Oh boy. You said between Mock Rider and Ice Climber?
Yeah.
I'm not hating it because I'm looking at all the other games and a lot of them are just kind of bland, again, limited in scope.
Well, that's why I'm looking at like, okay, so I really did not like Ice Climber.
I don't think any
I
of us
didn't
did.
I didn't play Gyromite. I didn't like Urban Champion. Wild Gunman was stupid. Hogan's Alley was stupid. You know, like all of those games, they're just kind of lame. This one was at least interesting. At least there was different stuff to do. At least it was functional, and I didn't die every time a butterfly tickled my toenail. So I don't
That
know.
is fair. That is fair.
Tickle
Jerry,
the
your thoughts on that?
toenail.
Would you be against that?
Sorry, I'm gonna be on. I was checking levels. I'm sorry. What what am I against?
Would you be against putting it between Mock Rider and Ice Climber?
No,
Because none of us liked Ice Climber. That's
yeah,
a fact.
right.
I'm not against that. I would say personally it cannot go above Mock Rider because I actually enjoyed that game. But
I liked Mock Rider too. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not against that for whatever that's worth.
Sorry, I was typing. All right, number 33, Athena, between Mock Rider and Ice Climber. That was an interesting discussion on that one. It's actually ranked higher than I would have gave it credit for. I'm not going to lie. All right, last game of the night. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is probably the high point of the evening. Palamedes, which is a puzzle game released in November of 1990. It was developed by Taito and published by Hot B. This was an interesting one. Anybody want to speak about it? Want me to go over the gameplay? Does someone else want to go over the gameplay?
Just give it a high level overview. Why not?
Okay, I guess I'm doing it again. All right, well, you play as some dude. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be Palamedes or not, but you're throwing dice at a line of dice at the top of the screen. I think the game is called Bust a Move. If you've ever played that, or the Japanese name is Puyo Puyo, I believe. It's kind of similar where you're trying to clear lines of objects at the top of the screen. In this game, you have a set amount of lines. I don't know if the numbers are random or not, but they correspond to a dice face. So what you do is you hit B to cycle through sequentially the die amount, so 1 through 6, and then you hit A to throw the dice or the die straight up towards the dice at the top of the screen. If you match it, it gets put on the bottom of the screen, and it basically just keeps growing until you have 6, and then they just keep overwriting it themselves. The whole point is to make, I guess you can call them poker hands or Yahtzee hands or something, like pairs, straights, things like that. Because if you can do that, you hit down and it clears a bunch of lines at once. And you keep doing this until all the lines are cleared in the level, and then you move on to the next level and repeat at a slightly faster speed. And that's Palamedes for you. How's that? Was that a good summary of the game?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I'll start, I guess, because silence. Although I enjoyed this game at first, was I the only one that thought it got a little boring after a little while?
No, I freaking love this game. I'm serious.
You know what's funny is I called it last time too. I said as soon as I picked this, I'm like, I feel like you're gonna like this game because it's a puzzle game. I know you're a puzzle game fan.
Freaking love this game. I have not been able to
Tetris guy.
I have not been able to put this game down. I'm not even joking.
Really?
This has been so much fun to me. Yeah. I'm not joking. I'm a little obsessed. I'm a little obsessed with this game.
It's not a bad thing.
I have a problem. Yeah. It's just really fun to me. I don't know. I wish I had known about this game when I was a kid, because I probably would have spent a lot of time playing it. But I play a lot of Yahtzee too. For like you mentioned, like, you know, one of the things is to do try to get it in like sequential order, and as somebody who's constantly battling his aunt in online Yahtzee every day, yeah, I'm drawn to stuff like this.
It's a very easy to understand game. I did have to look up the manual to figure out exactly what I'm supposed to do, but once I understood the mechanics, I'm like, oh, this is a very easy game for anyone to pick up and play. The problem, I don't know, like maybe I was just doing too well at it. I kept like hitting the 6 die straights, which clears 5 lines at a time, and before I knew it, the stage was over. I got to like level 9 or 10, and I just kind of called it because I don't know. I just started losing interest in it. Like I could definitely tell it was getting a little bit faster, but I don't know. It wasn't hooking me in like the way it sounds like it did for you.
Yeah. I mean, teach their own, right?
Yeah. Sammy, what about you? Were you hooked on this one?
I wouldn't say I was hooked. It was fun after I got the hang of it. It took me a really long time to just coordinate my thumb and my brain because you have to cycle through the die faces in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back to 1. And so if you just use a 2, let's say, and you need a 1 next quickly, you have to be able to handle that. And if you overshoot, then of course you have to cycle through them again. And so it took me a little bit of doing to get the hang of that. But I did think that it was kind of a fun premise.
Sammy, you hit the nail in the coffin with the one complaint I have about this game. I wish there was a way to cycle backwards. Like, I don't know why they didn't do it like kind of like how I think Tetris does it, where you hit A to go one way, B to go the other, and maybe hit up in order to throw it up. I feel like that would have
Yeah.
worked. But yeah, you have to
Interesting.
cycle through
Yeah.
the die amounts just sequentially. So like as you said, if you miss one, you have to like frantically hit the button in order to bring it back to where you need it to be.
Hmm.
That was like the one complaint I had about this game.
Hmm.
Also, I'll note that with the last two games, we were talking about how bad the music is. The music in this game is actually really catchy. I really enjoyed it.
What was your high score?
Oh, you're gonna make me look. Well, does it count that I didn't get a game over? I just kind of stopped playing. I think let me take a look, see where I got. So I got to level 10, and I was at 65,410 points.
Well, you smoked me.
I'm telling you, I just kept trying to get like 5-line scores. I don't even know how. I'm assuming by clearing more lines at once, that's how you get more points. But yeah, I kept going for 3 pairs and the 6 die streets, and that would clear levels out within minutes.
All right then.
I'm guessing we have no further things to say here. So yeah, there really isn't much to say about the game though. I mean, it's a very simplistic puzzle game. You sit down, you learn the mechanics, and you play it. And if you're Jerry, you don't stop playing it. Apparently, out of curiosity, how far did you get? Like,
Well,
I don't know how many.
Yeah, I mean, I only got to stage 2 with like a 35,000 high score, but that's just because like Sammy, it took me a bit. I had to look at the manual because I didn't realize at first when I started playing that you had to press down to like play the hand.
Same.
So once I figured that out, I was like, oh, okay, like I get it now. Takes a little bit for me to catch up on things sometimes, but I was like, once I got that, I was like, okay, that's when I started really like getting dialed into the game. But I haven't been full disclosure, we're sitting here, I'm playing it right now. So I have a problem.
Wait, you said you're hooked on this. You couldn't put it down, but you're only at level 2. Like what? Like
yeah, but
no, I was the same way where I didn't know. I mean, there's got to be more than just throwing dice at the top of the screen because like I just feel like you can't clear this. And then when I looked up, I'm like, oh, all right, well let's try this now. And then everything started making more sense. I started enjoying it a little bit more. Again, after like level 9, I don't know. Puzzle games typically don't hold my interest all that much. I mean, I'm also not the biggest Tetris fan. I don't like columns on the Sega Genesis. I know you like it.
Yeah, I love columns.
Yeah, I've just never been much.
But again, like I mean, it's one of those things. Like when it comes to those things, like yeah, you're always just like whatever. It's Tetris, and I'm like, what do you mean? It's just Tetris. It's not just Tetris. Tetris is life. What are you talking about? So like I just really like those kind of things.
What I'm curious on is how much fun this game would probably be with multiplayer because it does have a 2-player option.
Yeah, you and I should battle sometime.
I I think we could do that. We might have an idea for a battle. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
But yeah, I feel like if we had like someone to play with, this game would be a lot more fun. But going up against a computer, just clearing lines of dice, it's like, it's not bad, but I don't know if I'd say it's amazing either. But it does what it sets out to do. It's a nice, simplistic, fun puzzle game. I don't even know if I need to say any more with that. So, unless you guys have anything else to say about Palamedes, I think we move on to figure out where to put it on our ever-growing list of games on a columned and rowed spreadsheet.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I didn't knock it.
You probably should have. All right, I'll start for this one. Again, I found the game good, but I started getting a little bored. The problem is we don't really have any puzzle games on here other than maybe Orb 3D. I was looking at the list earlier. I'm like, we don't really have much other than maybe Wrecking Crew, if you want to call that a puzzle game. It kind of sort of is. And I still don't like that it's up that high, but you like it, so. But yeah, like looking at all the other games, like I feel like those are really the only two puzzle games that we have. And personally, I think I'd still rather play Orb 3D other than a stupid sliding puzzle. So personally, I would put it at number 26 between Gumshoe and Alan Jr.'s Turbo Racing. I can't put it any lower than that, but I don't know. I just felt like Orb 3 was a slightly better game.
Really?
Yeah. I know it's probably lowballing it. I do understand that. So I'm curious to know what you guys think.
Oh, you're not going to like where I want to put it.
You may easily sway me. That's fine. This was a hard one for me to rank because as much as I enjoyed it, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't get sucked in like you did. So I kind of lowballed it there, but I'm probably expecting you guys put it much higher, which is fine. I'm probably not going to be upset.
I have trouble with this a little because it's kind of like saying, which do you prefer? Chicken pot pie or sports cars? Like, it doesn't make any sense because
I love me some chicken pot pie though.
Okay, well, fair enough. But my point is, I don't know how to compare this to, like, well, anything other than really Orb 3D or maybe Clue Land. Yeah, how do you compare a game like this
I guess
to
Clue Land's kind of a
Popeye,
puzzle game.
to golf? It's like, I don't know, it's tough for me. So my instinct is I liked this better than Orb 3D. And since I don't really know what else to do with it, I think I would put it right above Orb 3D because I don't know how to compare it to anything else
And that's
above that
fair.
spot on the list.
And as I said, that's the problem with this. We don't really have many puzzle games on the list yet, so we don't really have much to compare it to other than like Orb 3D. That's like the other main puzzle game that we have on this list, which I'd say is average game. Like it was fun until I got to the sliding puzzle, but that's fair. So Jerry, you said we were going to be surprised or I wasn't going to like where you're going to put this.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Spoiler
alert, I probably am not going to be surprised or upset or anything like that because again, I kind of lowballed it. This is one I was kind of planning on like sitting out and letting you guys kind of talk it through and see where I would agree with it. So
I would put it between Mario Brothers and MC Kids.
Okay.
I liked it that much.
Look at you.
Originally I was going to I wanted to suggest between Power Blade 2 and Pinball. Like I was even willing to go above Power Blade 2 and Excite Bike at first, but I think that between Mario, when I really look at 1 through 6, can I play this more than what I want to play this more than Mario Brothers? No. Like Mario Brothers is there's still more to that than this, but still a very enjoyable game to me personally.
Kind of feel like that's a little too high, but
I
I'm
don't
still not hating it.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. But I mean,
What about
like you said, I have an affinity for puzzle games, seemingly.
Yeah, and you do. Again, you like the Wrecking Crew.
Wow.
Well, I said it since the start. I did not like that game, and you did.
But no, I mean, I'm willing to compromise on where I would want to place it.
If I would lower it, it wouldn't be by much. What would you think between Rad Racer and Slalom?
I would go between Duck Hunt and Rad Racer as a compromise.
I was even thinking between MC Kids and Duck Hunt. So I'd even bring it up a notch.
See, to me, it offers more than Duck Hunt.
And that's what I'm saying, between MC Kids and Duck Hunt.
Well.
So basically number 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Personally, me, I wouldn't play this over. I wouldn't play MC Kids over this myself, but I'm willing to compromise. So yeah.
Again, that might just be a little bit of nostalgia speaking for me, and also Palamedes. Again, it didn't keep my attention as much as MC Kids does, or really any of the other games in the top, say 10 or so.
Like my whole issue with and I don't know if like this is something that like even down the line, like we've got a game in the catalog. I don't have it right. I won't have it right. The track and field game, right? Like in the same vein as like Duck Hunt, where those games require extra peripherals. Like the track and field game requires the running pad, right?
So
like,
funny thing, I just took that out of the list earlier.
I was gonna talk to you about that because I was like, I thought about that the other day, and I was like, wait, we took the one game out.
No, like Zapper games we can still play. If it requires any kind of accessory like the power pad or requires Rob, I took those out.
Yeah, but I think like that's my thing. So yeah, for that alone, I would. Yeah, I'm good with you putting it there personally because I'm looking at it like, man, Duck Hunt's still like up there, and for me that's a nostalgia thing more than anything. But like at the end of the day, like now you're not going to get to enjoy it the way you really are supposed to. So I just feel like over time that's going to continue, and it should fall for that reason. But
yeah, but it's still very high on the list. Now, even like you figure there's roughly 700 games in the catalog. If it stays in the top 100, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I don't see it going that much further down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it does, it does. But I mean.
But yeah, long-winded answer, way of saying I'm cool with it.
Sammy, what about you? Your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, you guys can put it wherever you want.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's fair. So, yeah, we will do. What's it called? I don't even remember what we were playing anymore. Palamedes, number 8 between MC Kids and Duck Hunt. All right. And that is a wrap. But we have one last thing to do. We've got to figure out what we're doing for next episode, right? So, gentlemen, you both tied. Tell you what, we're going to do this the most civilized way we can. Jerry, you have the most points overall, so I'm going to flip a coin, and you're going to say heads or tails. If it's the opposite, Sammy will get the second pick.
All right.
Otherwise, obviously, you guys will both get one, but then whoever gets the extra one's the one that wins the coin flip. So, all right, what do you?
Tails.
It is tails. So, Jerry, I need from you 2 numbers between. Oh crap! I didn't even look. 1 and 628, and then I will get 1 also from Sammy between 1 and 628.
250.
Okay.
And 375.
Okay. And Sammy, 1 number from you as well.
110.
Let me see what we got here. All right. We've got a banger for next month. So I'll save that one for last, though, because, suspense. So we have a puzzle game, Solomon's Key. I don't think I've ever actually played it. We have, I believe it's a simulation style game, Silent Service. I believe you're piloting a sub in that one. Don't quote me on that. And finally, we have an action RPG, little known game you might have heard of, called Zelda 2. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting episode. So Sammy, Jerry, appreciate you guys stopping by as always. For all you viewers out there, listeners, however you are listening or viewing this, appreciate you as well. If you did like what you heard, click the like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Expect more episodes for us, and probably expect a Palamedes battle coming up. Feel like that's going to happen. So, any last words from you, gentlemen?
Puzzle games are fun.
I think you might like Solomon's Key then. Sammy, any last words?
Good night.
There we go. As Sammy just said, good night, and until next time, happy fragging.